Harmonize
the podcast.
Yes.
With Nina
and Kenya.
Hi. God darn it, I was all ready to do the note, and here she comes. See, Brad, I know you want to record it for us.
Oh, I forgot.
No, it's okay. I know you want to record it and edit it and make it nice and stuff, but people actually like when we mess it up.
Let's do 5 versions.
Right? Oh, hello, everyone. This is Nina.
And this is a quiet and reserved and respectabated Kenya.
Oh, and we are Harmonize
the podcast.
Where we talk about all things being black.
Being a wife. Being a woman. Being a mother.
Uh-huh. Being an artist.
Being a Christian.
Yes. And all the things.
Did y'all catch that?
They caught it. All right. We have a very, very special episode today.
Yeah.
It's not going to be very long, but it is going to go deep very quickly.
Yes. This is a throwback Thursday for us.
Yes. We have, we got we're going to the Harmonized Mailbag today.
Yes, child.
The Harmonized Mailbag, child.
Yeah.
So we're going to read a letter that we got. Mm-hmm. And the names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Amen.
These are their stories.
Doom, doom.
Right. Okay, and then we should find the Aaliyah baby cry. Ah!
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we got this email. The subject line was "New Mommy Meltdown."
Oh my gosh, it was just like yesterday.
Yes, it was. So yes, New Mommy. We're gonna call you. We decided we're not gonna call you Siri or Alexa. We're gonna call you Cortana.
Yes, Cortana. That's the name. I'm about to say something. Make something up.
So Cortana is the name of the virtual assistant on the HP computer, and it just makes me laugh because everybody has their version of Siri.
But you could always spell it COR apostrophe capital T apostrophe dash
stop
H
it. Stop
A
it.
forward slash ATT HTT.
I can't stand you. All right, so here's I'm not going to read her full letter, but I'm going to read the parts of it that we kind of decided off air would be the most helpful for the greatest amount of people.
Right.
And we're going to answer her on air. Mm-hmm. So Cortana says, my child is 1 year old. Mm-hmm. I independently contract every job I have, so my schedule is all over the place. Mm-hmm. My husband's parents aren't capable of caring for their grandkids. Mm-hmm. My mother is the only family member available to watch her, but is the primary caregiver for her husband, who is actively dying of Alzheimer's. Wow. So we got the picture.
Yeah, right.
New mommy.
Yeah.
Really new marriage because I think they've only been married for a year or two before they had the baby.
Real fresh,
so new marriage, new baby. Mm-hmm. She's full-time artist. Mm-hmm. Baby's a year. Mm-hmm. His parents can't keep the kids. Mm-hmm. Her mom is caring for her stepdad who's dying from Alzheimer's. Okay. So that's where we start.
Wow.
So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Mm-hmm. Daycare seems like a waste of money because I'm literally home a few weeks and then working several weeks or working a little bit here and there every week. Mm-hmm. Plus, hubby does not like the idea of daycare. Mm-hmm. Any nanny is a minimum of $15 an hour, which feels like a waste of our babysitting money if I get an all-day gig. So usually she's working for an hour here, 2 hours there. And then if she's doing a show, that's happening at night when daddy's home. So daddy's watching the baby, but there we go. Mm-hmm. So she goes on to say some more things. She switched her schedule around, basically taking less gigs. So they're not paying for the sitter more than 2 or 3 days a week. And on Sundays, she helps her mom taking care of stepdad. So really her only day to do significant gigs is a Saturday.
Yeah.
So she is the primary caregiver of the baby still, which baby's a year.
Yeah, right.
And skip ahead. This was one of the lines that I was like, okay, we got to answer her. Okay. She says, I'm now in a place where stress has taken over. We can't afford to pay the sitter more than really once a week. Credit is not great. They have some debt. She spends all day with the baby, and then she works at night because she still wants to remain an artist.
Right.
And then she starts to meltdown. She went out 2 evenings the weekend before she sent the letter for the first time in a long time without a hubby. And she's like, I didn't want to come home.
Right.
Which, of course, because it's been a long time since you've been out.
The salsa club.
Right. Just
or
been
or come home. The salsa club. Right. I mean, come on. That's a no-brainer.
Right. And so she says she feels horrible about it. Because, her husband's dealing with his things, with his family. She has 2 friends who have even more stressful stories than hers.
Oh, so that means she's not being heard either because she's the listener.
Right. I feel alone. I feel selfish. But at the same time, I feel like I can't accommodate everyone else. And they're still complaining like I don't deserve a break too.
Right.
And then she goes on to talk about, here's the other piece of it.
Right.
She's also breastfeeding. And pumping.
Girl,
okay.
Right?
Okay.
Don't we, girl, high five.
We're going to talk about that.
That's a whole.
That too. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
On and on and on. And she's like, I'm usually better at dealing with this, but today was just a breaking point. Sorry, this is so long. I just wanted to paint a specific picture. And I knew you would understand. Love you both. The show is giving me life.
We love you, Cortana.
All right. So
you and your husband, Jake.
Right. Not Jake. Why can he be Jamal?
Okay, I was trying to think Cortana and Jamal. Let's call him Jamal.
And Cortana and Jamal. All right.
Okay.
That's
nice. I like that name.
That's funny.
Okay.
All right. So, baby girl, we hear you.
Girl, honey, child, when I read this letter, I could just cry.
Not a letter.
Yes, honey, I could just cry because, boy, it took me all the way back. That's why I can remember so very well. Everything that you have said has touched on my heart because I know exactly where you coming from.
You cue the organ.
Did you say? Exactly. Yes, I did.
No.
Exactly where you coming from. Okay.
All right.
So let's start off with the first point.
Okay. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna go here. Okay. So I'm going to preface this by saying some of what we're going to say is hard truth, and you're not going to want to hear it. Here's the second disclaimer. It is not the hard truth for the rest of your life.
No.
It's the hard truth for right now.
For right now. Right.
Not the first thing. Actually, this is not the first. The first thing I want to say is the baby is still only a year.
Yeah.
Until your kid is 5 and in kindergarten.
Come on.
Kindergarten and sometimes first grade.
Yep.
Your kid, that is a full-time job by itself.
Right.
That is a full-time job. Your body has not even finished healing from pregnancy and delivery yet.
That's right.
It takes 9 months for the baby to develop, and it takes almost as long for you to heal. And if there is any kind of birth trauma, it takes longer.
Yeah.
So let's start there. Your body has not even finished healing yet.
Right.
That's number 1. Number 2, you are nursing.
Right.
You are a full-time milk machine. Even if she is eating 90% of the day and you're still nursing just a little bit, nursing is physically exhausting, period.
If you don't believe her, check out those Facebook photos of dogs and cats nursing and how dogs, they don't never lose energy.
I nursed all 5 of my kids until they were almost 2.
Yep.
Nursing is exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Period.
It is. Your body is working.
Your body is working 24/7. So my first main point is you are exhausted.
Yeah.
So half of your stress right now is sleep deprivation.
That's it. It seems like it's a bigger deal than it, but it's
sleep deprivation.
It's sleep.
And on the other side, because let me tell you, my 3-year-old, because I have a 3-year-old, a 6-year-old, a just about 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, and an almost 18-year-old. I am just now.
Come on.
Just now.
What's today? What year is it?
2018. Getting a full night's sleep. And when I say a full night, I mean 4 to 5 hours of uninterrupted sleep.
Honey, heaven.
Okay?
Heaven.
And some nights I get 6 or 7.
Yes. It gets better because you remember me. You watch me in the whole, you know. But what you don't know is before Sage, because Sage actually slept. My son never slept.
Right.
I did not have that child that you sing to sleep and put in the crib. That was, I don't know who. I don't even know if that child really exists. And maybe y'all are drugging. If that's what happened, y'all probably, there's rum in the milk.
Right.
There's got to be. But my child was not like that. No. And I remember 5 weeks out. And I had such little sleep in my entire life. I really did not know my butt from my watch. I really didn't. I had to be walked by my friend, Jackie, to the doctor for his appointment, and I was a zombie.
Yeah. Let me tell you how serious sleep deprivation is. I had a student once who was seriously sleep deprived, and the parents didn't realize what was happening. He had been to several different doctors, and the parents came to me and one of the other teachers who they really trusted, and they were like, look, they're saying he's schizophrenic. And I was like, that's a lie from the pit of hell. Get a second, third, and fourth opinion. And they finally got him to one doctor who he, opened up to. And basically what had happened, the young man had experienced a trauma that was not allowing him to sleep.
Right.
He prescribed him some Allegra. It's like, I want you to check him in to the hospital.
Okay.
And we're going to basically let him sleep because he don't need to be home with y'all. He needs to go to sleep.
Right.
And so they basically checked him in, and he slept. He got up, he ate, he bathed, and they were like, and lay down, and here's the TV.
Right.
And they did that for a week.
I remember that because I didn't know anything about this. I had him in my class.
Yep. And
on an occasion, I just told, I think, because I would give my kids naps, believe it or not. When we did high performance stuff, I did that. But on one occasion I saw him and he just didn't look right. So I said, go to sleep. And he did. He just went right on the floor. He went to sleep and he didn't wake up. And I went, check, see, dead. No, he's not dead. You just sleep. All right. Well, obviously that boy going through something. So just let him sleep.
2 weeks after that, he was back to himself.
Yeah.
And people, because parenting is such a common thing, and we make all the jokes about parenting and that, people don't realize how stressful sleep deprivation is. Right. So that's the main and first thing I want to say. You need to go to bed, baby.
Right.
You need to go to sleep.
Right.
You can't okay, and we're going to come back to this point. Okay. Here's the second and I think most important point, and this is one of the hardest ones because this is also about perspective shifting, and this is going to be hard for you to let go of, but I too lived in this world.
Okay.
Your mother is not a caregiver that's available to you.
Period.
If she cannot watch the baby more than an hour and it causes you more stress to bring the baby to her,
she's not available.
She's not available.
Period.
She is not available. And she is not available. And the thing is, you just got to get over it, Cortana.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, everybody is well aware. I didn't have my mother.
Right.
My stepmother was not an option that was ever going to be available.
Right.
And the thing is, when Jonathan and I got married, my mother-in-law had a 4-year-old. So she was still raising kids.
Right.
When Jonathan and I got married, my mother-in-law was my age.
Right. Okay.
And she had a 4-year-old. She had 5 kids and her youngest was 4. So she was not available.
Right.
Because she was still raising kids.
Right.
She had a 4-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 18-year-old. She was not available to me.
All of those, so that whole picture, because I had my mother. She was available when she was wonderful and all of that was great. I had other members that, family and friends who said, "Oh, I'll be around to do this," and they were not. They were not. And I had to come to the hard reality that they would not be available for me.
Yeah.
And, these
just
are the same
not
people,
available as a babysitter.
Yeah. Now, these were the same people who, when I was pregnant, I'll be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so understand they are not, or they can't, or whatever it is, they're
Mm-hmm.
not available. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, the picture that you may have painted in your mind, not that saying that you did, but I'm just saying that we get it from media all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
When you're married and you're having a child, all of these warm, fuzzy feelings happen. Well, for other people. Well, I was a realist.
Well, here's the thing, though. No. We have this idea of what grandma is supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's not it. You know, when you find out that you know, there's the grandma's not available like they should, like they could be, or they can be, or whatever, for whatever reason, good or bad, you know, and then you find out that friends and family, extended friends and family are also not available. And then you find out that the daycare, the care for children is just too much, and you feel bad because you wish you could pay more and you can't, blah, blah, blah. All of those things are factors when you're doing this, plus add sleep deprivation. Okay, so there you have it. So that's the makings of a breakdown.
Right, exactly. Okay. So, and the thing is, it's not that, so you know, because you said that, you know, your mom is like, oh, I love spending time with her. I didn't read this part, you know, but then she kind of goes into a panic, you know, and gets very stressed out at the idea of watching her for more than an hour. Honey, she's not available. She doesn't have the bandwidth. She is a full-time caregiver for her husband who is dying of a debilitating disease. And even though you need her, she ain't available. Not in that capacity.
And she has a stress that she's going through.
Exactly. Because especially that particular disease where he doesn't even know who she is anymore, she's not available. And this is a shift you have to make because you're not here yet. You'll get here when baby is older, but mother guilt may not allow her to say, I'm not available. So you're going to have to make that decision for her and take her off the table. She will absolutely love to spend time with y'all, have dinner with you. If you come over and the baby is there and she gets to enjoy the baby for a little, wonderful. She's not a babysitter. You got to take it out of your mind. Okay. So we're going to move to the next point.
Okay.
Competent and quality care for your child is never a waste of money.
Come on, say that, please.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But it is never a waste of money. Competent and quality care for your child is never a waste of money.
That's right.
If I'm going to be paying you and you're telling me my child is not going to be sitting in front of TV, you're going to store and care for my breast milk properly and feed it to her when it's time. You're going to give her the food, you know, that's healthy and nutritious that I want her to have. She's going to learn socialization with the other kids. You have people who have been trained in early childhood education. They know first aid. They know all these things. The baby is safe and happy and all that kind of stuff. And I get to rest. I get to do things like I can clean my house if I want to today. I can go to the grocery store and do these things without worrying about if she's okay. It is not a waste of time or money. Ever. So that's one thing.
I need to go back.
Jump in there.
Okay. And I also know, because I think, Cortana, I know you. And I want to say you're an artist, but specifically you're a dancer. Understand too.
Actor, dancer, singer.
Actor, dancer. Okay.
Actor, dancer,
I'm going to come from the space of dance. Because, you know, I don't know how your body reacted during pregnancy. Maybe you were in love. You know, for me, it was a whole lot of change happening. It was so much change that it was frightening. I was happy, but I was frightened because I didn't know even my body could do that at the age that I had my son. So when you talked about your body having to heal 9 months after, at least, I'm going to go ahead and say a full year, 9 months after, at least sometime after, you know, there's a lot of things that are still coming together. I looked a lot of times to people that I could see visually and see how they handled everything. And I noticed, I'm going to use J-Lo as an example, that when she was, you know, put on blast and she was having her babies, you saw her only at maybe like 5th month. And then she kind of went into hiding. And then about after she had the baby, they advertised her way after she had the baby, as if it looked like she had the baby, and then or the babies, because I think she has twins. That she had her
and she came back, snapped back,
and we all know, because she's a dancer too. We all know that's not the truth. When I did the numbers and did the math, I was like, oh, that's how that happened. So it painted a very unrealistic picture of what it's supposed to be, since I looked to other performers, dancers, as to how I was going to get through this. I'm saying all that to say that, you know, these are things that kind of add to your distorted, may have added to a distorted view of what you might be going through and why you shouldn't feel bad or guilty about it. That's number one. Number two, physically, you're coming back. We've already talked about the sleep deprivation, but also understand that just like your body has to heal, there's a lot of things that you have to heal from and grow into. The idea of being okay with childcare. You know, when you have had someone literally.
Kenya's so nice. She giving you like the sweet version. I'm like, listen, get over.
That's not it. No, you want to hear the hard truth. You do need to hear the hard truth, though, you know, because it's only going to help you grow. And, you know, with all of these facts that are here before you and the power of decisions that you have coming before you, you'll really be able to understand that you're going to be okay in this entire process. This is a very short time. It does pass, and it seems like watching paint dry. People used to be like, oh my gosh, it goes by so fast. I'm like, who the hell? For you? This is like watching paint dry. And it felt like that up until they were about 3 or 4.
Yep.
You know, and then
it starts,
and then it goes fast.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, I just wanted to make sure you understand that your body is going to go through another set of changes in a way as coming from a performer.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's weight on or weight off or muscles lost or muscle, you know, those kind of things.
Or muscles just different.
Or different muscles.
Because, you know, people forget, it's not, people only think about like the belly stretching.
Yeah, no.
You know, but your hips change.
Yes.
Like your physical hip bone becomes pliable and changes shape.
Right.
You know, and so like the way you sit, stand, move, everything changes. And so here's the next segue from what Kenya was saying. Okay. That, you know, childcare is a sticking point. It's something you and hubby have to talk about. You got to research, and this might be one of these art of being a woman moments.
Yes, child.
Okay, because I understand. Hubby not liking the idea of childcare. She's a year now, though.
Yeah.
So she's had the first year with the two of you as primary caregivers, right? Which in America, let's face it, if you're not a stay-at-home parent, primarily, because you're an independent contractor, he has his work, that's a feat.
Right.
That's a feat if you're able to do that without a maternity leave or, you know, anything like that. Because I didn't have a real maternity leave, like an actual maternity leave until my 5th kid. And I was like, this is what this feels like. Because every other kid, what happened was I just ceased to take contracts, which meant it was also no money coming from me, you know? So here's the other thing. There is no shame. And Kenya and I have both been here.
Come on.
For this small amount of time. Because it, in the grand scheme, is a small amount.
Yes.
In taking a part-time or a full-time job that's going to give you a regular check.
Yes.
Every 2 weeks, once a month, whatever it is. Because here, you have a thing that's, you know, later in the letter that says you all have some debt. You add that stress to sleep deprivation.
Plus body changing.
You know, all those things. You have compound stacked stress, right? What we know about you, Cortana, is that you have immense and varied skill sets.
Yes. Yes.
You don't have to go work at McDonald's.
No, you don't.
Not that there is anything wrong with that.
That's all right.
You don't have to go like work in a department store or anything like that. Mm-hmm. You could get a gig.
I did do it.
And Kenya did do it.
I did do it.
She did.
I worked at DSW. I'm very proud of that.
Listen, we both have some fabulous shoes from that time.
Thank you very much. I went in there and made my money and then came out and bought some shoes. And I was like, all right, we have $2.32 to live off of for the rest of the month.
She's so goofy. But what it did do is it allowed them not to have as much stress for that time.
Right.
The gig that I just had for 4 years, mm-hmm. where I took a serious break from performing and everything, and it damn near killed me.
Yeah.
You know, but that was for different reasons.
Yeah. Right.
That was for different reasons. Right. But initially, mm-hmm. part of the purpose of taking that gig mm-hmm. was so that my husband could do work on some of his dreams. You know? So I do not regret that time at all.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, you have skill sets that may allow you to take a part-time or full-time gig mm-hmm. that might not be the most ideal, mm-hmm. that will take some time away mm-hmm. from the baby, mm-hmm. but would also allow you to have some money coming in. Mm-hmm. It would still be in your field, mm-hmm. would allow you to help pay off some of the debt, mm-hmm. which would allow you to not be as stressed.
So I'm going to make it plain because now you being nice. So
Okay. Y'all might have to grow up and you got to get a job.
Forget what hubby had to say about daycare. Oh. Let me tell you that right now.
Oh, you going there?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You're going to have to do it for yourself. And you don't worry. We're going to lift hubby up in the meantime because hubby he ain't thinking right now.
Because he needs some sleep.
He needs some sleep too. He got stuff going on. He needs sleep. And he's a man. Mm-hmm. I said it.
They don't get it.
Right. I'm going to come from a place of being married to a blue collar black man. Mm-hmm. Okay. Who is a little bit older than me. So he's in a different generation. Mm-hmm. So we go back and forth with that. But I'm going to come to you like this. Yes, we love them. Yes, we respect them, everything. Yes, they have their say. But at the end of the day, if you are the one who are drying up like a raisin in the sun, mm-hmm. you're going to have to be the one to make the decision over him. Now, you can dress it up how you want to.
Part of being a woman.
Yes, honey, you have skills. You know mm-hmm. how to say what you need to say and do what you need to do.
And all like, those I read this thing about the benefits of daycare.
Yes. Well, I found this place and I think you're really going to like it. It's only going to be for 2 days out of the week. Now, I realize that I'm going to take this job right here and do this and this and that. But, because here at the end of the day, when you are happy, you can then be there mm-hmm. for him. You can be more supportive for him. You can be more supportive for yourself. You can't give water from a dry well.
You can't.
And right now, your well is dry. It's dry. And there's no shame with that,
Yeah.
But that means sometimes you have to override some of the decisions. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying go against your husband.
Not at all.
At least not for the whole marriage. This is not happening for the whole marriage.
Not at all.
This is just so you can get a little bit of peace, mm-hmm. For yourself, mm-hmm. so that you can be more of use to the family.
Right.
And you got to strengthen up because nobody else can be there for you to do that. So
we're going to read you this quote from the okay. There is listen, I love them. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Who is it?
This page is called The Nap Ministry, and people think it's a joke. It is not. It is activism. And no, it's serious. Follow the page.
Okay.
But this is something that she posted last week that I sent to several of my friends.
Okay.
The opposite of care is violence.
Mm-hmm.
Who benefits when you reject resting and napping for exhaustion?
Yep.
Rest is soul care.
Yes.
And a form of resistance.
That's right.
You have to. Mm-hmm. Here's where it gets even deeper. Mm-hmm. She had a post that said that rest mm-hmm. and actively choosing to rest mm-hmm. disrupts white supremacy. And I was like, girl, what you talking about?
Let me go. Good night.
Right. But then she went deeper and she said the idea, that I'll sleep when I'm dead. Mm-hmm. Grind. You sleeping, I'm grinding. All this kind of stuff comes from the idea mm-hmm. in a capitalist, white supremacist, patriarchal society mm-hmm. that you have to always be working in order to get it. Yeah. The devil's a lie.
Okay, go on then.
God rested on the seventh day.
Even he rested. So did.
Go your butt to bed.
Right. And this comes from,
take a nap.
This comes from, now you sleep.
Listen,
good. I don't. I mean, I sleep, but I'm.
And here's the thing: people's bodies are made different.
Yeah.
Like Kenya can actually, like Kenya and you and Jonathan are the same.
Days.
Y'all can go and be okay, but then you crash.
I do crash, and I must, and I also know, like even now, you can hear it in my voice. Like I'm aware that I need to sleep. Mm-hmm. I'm okay. And so now I have to make it fun for me though. Yeah. So that means, I can smell lavender and I can do all of those things. And, and that for you might sound like extra work. Because I remember very well of, hearing
we got a whole episode about it where it's like, where am I going to find time to put in the yoga and the this and the that and that? I can't.
Girl.
We know.
Well,
we
come
know.
on. Let's keep going on these points then.
So here's the thing. So you have to get the rest, right? Mm-hmm. All right. Let me see. What's my favorite thing that people say? Disabuse yourself of the idea.
Dang, that's long.
Right?
That's beautiful.
But disabuse yourself of the idea that it is not okay for you as an artist to have a job. I'm a repost. I posted on my personal page. I posted it on the Harmonized page. And I posted somewhere else. But there was an article that came out in Vox last week that was talking about, how we're sold the whole American dream that you can be anything you want.
That's a
and that it is not the same for people who come from marginalized communities because we don't have the luxury of I'm gonna go live in New York or LA for a year while my parents give me $30,000 to live off so I can figure out if I'm gonna be a writer.
Yes, and then you come.
Listen. We it's not set up the same. The game ain't the same for us.
No.
So, and the thing is, you cannot produce your art if you are not alive.
Right.
If you died tomorrow, all those things you worried about still gonna go on.
That's right.
Take a nap.
Yeah.
If you need to take
a nap, get a job,
get the thing. But here's the thing, because and this is serious because Kenya and I want to talk about this. We talk about this, like we reference it. We have not gone too deep into it, but because you are an independent contractor, and hubby is the only one that has a quote unquote job, right? You can get a voucher for daycare. And let me
shame.
Tell her again. There is no shame because it is called assistance.
Yes.
It is there to assist you
while
you are on your way to a place where you can afford it yourself.
Yes.
I have been on vouchers, food stamps, WIC, food pantries, all the things.
Right.
Jonathan and I made that crap work.
Right.
Okay.
You make it work.
You do what you got to do to make it work.
Yep.
And you make it beautiful. There is nothing undignified about receiving assistance to feed your family. There is
the best meals you will have in your life.
Listen, there is nothing undignified or shameful about doing what you have to do to survive. Because here's the thing. If you do not survive, you can never get to the place where you are thriving.
Right.
And you want to thrive.
Right.
So that you can create the art you were put here to do.
And I'm telling you, once those decisions were made, and I was cornered into that place. And I felt terrible. But once I got there, I kind of, with the help of a good support system, that being you, Miss Nina, because we went through this together.
Yes, we did.
We did. We go to this together. And understanding a lot of when I went back to a lot of what I knew in myself as an artist and as a dancer, the discipline, what has to happen in order for these things to come through. I had to really coach myself through the line, through the application, through all of that.
Because they'll treat you like, they'll treat you like crap. I had one actually tell me, just lie and say y'all separated. I mean, we know all of those things. That crap is there, but you have to have in your head.
Right.
That you have a greater purpose.
There's a greater purpose as mine. You are not the one who's abusing the system. Once you get on, and I'm talking specifically about the food stamps. Now, when you get on, you're not going to turn into the person who only buys carbs and stuff. Because then there's a whole thing about, I'm going to turn into the Twinkie person and get only Twinkies for. No, you're not. No. You already know. You've been educated. You already know how to use food and how to make the most of it. As far as the vouchers go, it will allow you to have your child attend very, very good, if not maybe some of the best daycares and give you that time. It really got me through, and I was so thankful.
And here's the thing. Daycare will help you help her establish a nap routine.
Yep.
I mean, there are so many benefits.
You were able to come up with your mama.
Yes.
And I was able to come up with through her eyes.
Yeah.
Through that system.
Right.
Because I had a chance to come home and wash the dishes and do it in my living room. And it gave me enough time to do that before I went back and picked up the baby. Now, I didn't have to be there, because you mentioned this before off air. I didn't have to be there from 9 to 5.
Right.
I could, you could put her in for...
You could put her in part-time. You could put her in 2 days a week. You could put her in 3 days a week, and I'm available to gig on Tuesday, Thursday.
And still have food to eat. And still
that.
Be able to be there in a way for your husband, for yourself, that you need to be in there. You know, it's really going to be okay. It really, really is going to be okay. I'm a living and walking testimony, and so is Nina. Okay.
Okay.
And it doesn't. I just know the guilt and the shame that comes along with it.
Yes.
And I'm of a different generation where this is. My mom didn't do it. Maybe she did. I don't know. But we're just in a different generation.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's out there for you. Go get it so that you can be of some service to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Okay. So here is another thing that we want to say. Because you got to the end and you're talking about, how you went out for the first time in a long time and you just didn't want to come home. Girl, we know it felt like a vacation.
That's sleep deprivation. Yeah.
My sister and I used to joke that going to the Walgreens was going to the spa.
Yes,
that was the spot. Girl, Walgreens was the spot.
Honey.
I would go to Walgreens. I would look at all the masks. I would sample the little lotion. They have the little tester out.
I got one better. I remember being in the grocery in the Aldi.
Yeah.
In the long line. And I think somebody was like, they were behind me and they needed to get in front. And they were like, well, do you mind? I was like, no, baby, I am go. This is heaven. I got no kids with me right now. I'm in. And this is like being in Tahiti for me.
Right.
And she was like, Dad, you must done get no kind of time. I don't. But I remember loving to be in long lines.
Yeah.
It gave me a chance to look at all the magazines.
You could think.
I could think.
Nobody was pulling on you talking about, mommy. Because here's the thing.
Because I could do it before I picked them up from daycare.
Exactly.
Right.
And you've only just begun.
Right.
She's only a year.
Right. Your body routine, the muscle memory is not even there yet for you to develop the habit. By the time they're like 2-3 years old, it's so like, oh, I didn't get up and do this. You want a sandwich? Everybody, here you go. Stop. How you doing, baby girl? I didn't tell you. You could talk on the phone. It'll be fragmented sentences, but
be like, can you, girl, do not put the dinosaur in your mouth. It'll be like that.
Anyway, girl.
Right.
But how many times have you said that? So anyway, girl.
Yeah. So all of that stuff, and then you go on to say, and my two best friends, it's more stressful for them, and then my mom is dealing with this, and my husband is dealing with this and that. Let me tell you something. I can't find the quote that I sent to our other friend, but the sense of it was this: just because there are people in your life or people in the world who are experiencing what could be perceived as more serious trauma does not mean that your own trauma is not serious to you.
Right.
It does not mean that you don't need care. And here's the thing. This is one of the hardest parts of being a grown adult woman. You have to take care of yourself in the way that you are caring for the baby.
Say it again.
It has to be a priority that if you like cocoa butter on your skin,
which I'm about to run out and get right today.
Okay. That you take the minute and a half it takes to rub the cocoa butter into your skin because the rest of your day will feel better.
Let me pause right there.
Go.
Because if you're at a place that I was, where money was an issue and things like dishwashing liquid was a luxury, with the food stamps that we had, because we couldn't get that stuff, that's when I got, and this is a special tip, y'all. I stocked up on
a woman.
Yes, it's an art.
Q-Harp.
Honey from the pantries, cucumbers, olive oil, coconut oil, and those kinds of things. And I made concoctions.
Listen.
So I didn't, because I'm going to, I hate to do this. I'm going to jump forward.
Go, do it.
Because you were talking about, yoga classes and dance classes and things like that. I couldn't do it. Which is why Samba Fit became a hit in my household in the kitchen. I didn't have the money to go there. I created my own program in my kitchen.
Yep.
And when I was done after my Samba Fitness, I showered and I oiled myself down and massaged myself down with coconut oil and olive oil. And I took the cucumbers, and that was my spa.
Yeah.
And, of course, the kids would eat the cucumbers, which was fine. You put the cucumber, get them ranch out. But I had to make it work. And sometimes that meant that I had to do the yoga and the dance in the room with the child, or children. So I understand as we're giving you these options, I know in the back of your head is, but the money. And I'm here to tell you, because I'm still walking out of it, and I'm just shaking my left leg off of it. But when I go back, I remember hearing the advice and saying, that sounds great, but now I got to go out and buy cocoa butter. No, you don't. Okay. Right now you make work with whatever you have, Vaseline, mineral oil,
whatever
the baby diaper rash, whatever it is, get what you can get to care for yourself. That's all,
Yeah. Caring for yourself is a thing. It has to happen, because you cannot care for them and be there for them if your well is empty. Like Kenya said earlier, if your well is dry, you can't give them anything.
Right.
We both know how it feels when you feel like I am never going to be able to practice my art again. You're in that watching paint dry stage. I promise you, the art ain't going nowhere.
No.
It's there. I promise you.
It's actually being formed in a new way.
Yep.
So, I mean, here, understand what's happening. Because this year, because of that time, we see in full season, your mama come to full fruition.
Yep.
And it actually has more to go, I believe. We also know that you were honored this Mother's Day as Mother of the Year. Right. But awesome. Because I'm your friend and I've seen I saw when the seed was planted.
Yeah.
I can now look back as your friend and say, all of this happened from that time when, remember, we would come up and I'd come to your apartment and I'd have my baby and you'd have yours.
Right.
And we'd sit and you be in the little oval, what is that chair called?
Oh, the papasan.
The papasan chair. And I'd be on the little couch on the side.
Right.
And the children would be eating
whatever
they could find on the floor.
And Cheerios.
Cheez-Its, Cheerios, and blocks. Okay. Again, I know that I had you to be able to talk to. I don't know if you have that, because it sounds like to me again that your friends in their situation are going through stuff. But
and you said this. She's the listener.
Yes, because I'd like to think that I'm the listener.
You are.
I am the listener.
You are.
And so when it gets to the point where I start losing my voice and I feel ill, and usually that happens because I feel like I'm not being heard or that I'm too loud sometimes. I'm still trying to find the happy balance on that. I think I'm getting to, not the happy balance, the happy harmonizing on that. But when you're a listener, imagine this is what's happening. I know you, Cortana, and what I know of you is you are by nature a happy person. You have a light within you,
a sunflower.
You are, honey, a complete sunflower. There is no amount of darkness that will shine out your light. And right now you might be freaking out because this is the first time in your natural life that you've ever had to deal with such darkness. We are also in Ohio in the wintertime, which is not much helpful.
Right.
You know? So all of this is happening.
The world is burning.
And the world is burning, going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
You know, but there's hope because
Absolutely.
you do have a light and it does shine. It's not going to get smothered. When you're the listener, what happens is, you know, before pregnancy and probably during pregnancy, you were able to hear people and not so much say what was going on with you because there was nothing really that traumatic. Maybe, you know, maybe there was, maybe there wasn't, but you could have a handle on it. Well, right now, your well is filled, but it's not filled with water. And people keep coming in and wanting to get water out and they can't, you know, they're just dumping coal into it. So you have to be very protective of your light at this point. And sometimes that might mean maybe you need to take a break from your girls or what the conversation is. There have been times when I think I've come to Nina and you're just like, I can tell from her body language, like this is not the day. And I'm sure that there have been times that, where you can pick it up from me.
Absolutely.
Or we just, we'll just say it. We'll just say it like, hey, I can't handle it right now. Right. You know, I love you, but you know, and I'm blessed to have that very open because I don't work any other way. So for your girls, if that's what it is, it might be that, girl, I know you, I feel bad for you, but you know, hold on, I need a minute. I need something, you know, and maybe you can get it from them on that day because you'll be surprised. Sometimes people want you to speak up and they're so used to you not speaking up till unless you say something, you know, they won't know. Or this also might be one of the times where you have to kind of pull and be by yourself for a second. Yeah. When by yourself, that might mean you and the baby. That's what it might mean. Yep. And, you know, and talk it out or think it out in a way that you can. Now, I'm not going to lie and say that you're going to make time happen from the sky. Right. You know, there are going to be days, you'll go days without not being able to express yourself. You know, it's not going to hinder you. It's not going to make your light not shine. It's not going to do any of those things. It's just going to be a little bit of a delay. Yeah. You know, and then you'll be able to come back on the 4th day or the 7th day or you know, whatever that is, and to be able to check in with yourself. I also know that you're writing this letter out of, you know, you're tired. Yeah. Have you eaten?
You are tired. Yes. Come on, let's go down the list.
Right.
My mother-in-law used to always say, don't halt. Yeah. Don't get too hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. Right. And that is the main thing that happens to new parents. Right. Yeah, I'm going to say new mommies and daddies, but new parents.
New parents in general. Right. My sister will tell you, you know, and she didn't realize how important these words were for me. But I think we had such a meltdown, and I don't know, the kids were like 3 and 5, and we were still like, because he was tired, and I was tired, and it was so bad. She came over to the house, and she was like, this is the time when, this is the hardest time. This is the time when the divorce rates happen. Yeah. This is the time when you start developing serious issues against each other. This is the hardest time. And she was like, and you and Joseph have gotten through much of that. Right. You know, just hold on for a couple more years.
Yeah. And that's real. That's real because usually for a lot of people, their marriage may be the first really long-term serious relationship they've had. Right. So when they hit that first really hard wall, they don't know how to react to it because when they hit that in the other relationships, they broke up. Right. You know? Right. So this is the time.
And then a baby does change everything.
A baby changes everything. Right. Because we didn't even get into this, mostly because you didn't. Right. But we didn't get into are y'all being as intimate as you want to be? Yeah, because you're exhausted.
Right. Right.
Because listen, everybody.
We were older, so we were like, okay, let's plan it on Saturday, June 10th.
Let me tell you something. I can't tell you how many people came up to me after your mama, because I have that whole sequence in the elevator scene where I'm going through the schedule for the day, and I'm like, okay, pick up the kids by 6, dinner by 7. No, pick up the kids at 4, dinner by 6, rehearsal at 7, make love by 11. And you know, many people like laugh. You know, it's supposed to be funny, but so many people laugh at that. But I can't tell you how many men came up to me and were like, "That is so important. Yeah, that's why y'all still married." And I was like, but it's true, you know, people, you know, and we went through.
Sometimes you got to lose sleep over a little pleasure.
Listen, because the thing about sex, about making love, about intimacy, period, is that it's a connection. Yeah. it's also a reset button.
It is.
It's like a reset.
Yeah.
It relieves stress.
Right.
And it'll help you go to sleep.
It'll help you go to sleep. Yes. And if you have a headache beforehand, you probably needed it so you get rid of the headache.
There you go.
And I know it sounds funny because you just had a baby.
Right.
You might have these new thoughts about your body. Mm-hmm. He might have his new thoughts about your body. Mm-hmm. He might have new thoughts about his own body.
And listen to me. Listen to me.
Listen to me.
Oh yeah. Because I had to really learn this, and then we got to wrap it because I got to go.
Right.
But I had to really learn this.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you that the more that I got sad and everything and whatever, and I didn't look through the more my husband was actually falling in love with my body again. And he was like, girl, no, do you understand? And I was like, no. And finally I woke up and I was like, well, let me listen to the man. He said come and let me put it on you since you love it so much. That's why we got 5.
Let me take these granny panties off right quick. Wait, and what's the thing that holds you up together so that if you have if your organs are sticking out,
the diastasis,
the diastasis band, yes.
Girl.
Let me belly come out, bam, legs open. Get ready for this? You stupid!
I cannot be held responsible for Kenya Woods. No.
Hope you ready for all of this hair and rollers.
Oh my God! But
when you want it, you want it. Okay.
But
if he's not complaining, then no need. Now, what happens in the case that they seem to be turned off? I guess that's another episode. We're not going to talk about that.
That's another episode. We will talk about it. We can pick it up there next time.
Yeah.
But all of that to say, this is what we hope are the main takeaways. Mm-hmm. Number one is going to get better. Well, number one, go to bed. Give yourself the luxury and the care of rest.
Yeah.
Both of you.
Yeah.
Number two, it's going to get better.
It really is.
Number 3, if you need to, go ahead, get a little job for a little while, pay some of that debt off.
Right.
She will be okay.
Right.
You have
get
people.
The assistance, get the job
and get the assistance. And you have people in your circle who have kids in daycare who can help you find a daycare.
Right.
So those things are not impossible. Yeah. You can find what you want. Anybody who knows me knows I'm hella picky. Right. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you can find it. It's out there. It doesn't have to be full time. And then your husband is your partner, regardless of the fact of the things, he is dealing with, which we know, but we won't say on air because that's not our story to tell.
Right.
The thing is, he's still your partner.
Yeah.
He loves you. If you trust him, trust that he can grow to understand what you're going through. Yeah. And keep telling him. Right. Keep talking. Yeah. Keep the line of communication open so y'all can work through this because y'all gonna be fine.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Y'all gonna be fine.
In 5 years, you're gonna be like, you'll be able to bless somebody else.
You remember when we were stupid and didn't want to put the baby in daycare? That was so dumb.
That's so dumb. Are we pushing it too much?
Right? Girl, put the baby in daycare.
Yes, child. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. You can do it because the thing is, your mom, she just doesn't have the capacity.
If it were different circumstances, absolutely keep the baby all day if you want to. But we ain't there, boo. Right now. We ain't, that's not us. Maybe for the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th baby, you can do it. Right. But for this one,
even here's the thing, you can do, if you don't want the baby in like traditional daycare or whatever,
right.
And you don't want to do a nanny, you can do, like, if you say, I'm going to take this part-time, this 8-week gig, teaching twice a week. And for these 8 weeks, I know I'm going to make this. And you go to like care.com and you find a person, you're like, look, this is what I can offer. Is this something you can accept? All they can say is no. You'd be surprised at the people who will say yes.
Right. That's right.
That's right. You'd be surprised.
And here also, another option is taking jobs that will allow you to bring your baby with. Because at this time I worked at School of the Arts. Now, mind you, for a lot of times I did not want to bring baby Sage with me.
Because who does?
Nobody wants that. But she was, now Jordan and I could not do this, but Sage was that baby that you could put in the chair and you could walk away and she would just be fine. She would just entertain
you
herself.
could bring the little pack and play and there you go.
And they fine. They're fine, you know.
Right.
Oh, that's right. The baby is 1. I forgot about that. But, you know, just for future reference, just note that there are some places that may say, you know, because dance was my thing.
Right.
So when I would go and teach on Saturday classes, Sage would be on my chest and I would teach a full class with her in the what's it called? The Baby Bjorn. Or I would put her in the carriage and I would choreograph her. Or sometimes I remember, child, this is so bad. I remember Sage having to eat and I had to breastfeed and
we did once on this island. Yeah, he was in every rehearsal.
He sure was.
I remember that rehearsal he was singing
his auntie Kenya. He loved my song. Don't you know you're sweet?
Oh Lord.
A cherry pie, wild as Friday night. Well, he liked it.
But yeah, I mean, you know, so sometimes that may be an option as well. But you have options, but you're not going to be able to see any of them if you don't get some rest.
Right.
So it's not about...
You're a mommy now.
Right. It's not about asking anybody's permission to go to sleep when that baby's asleep.
Yeah, no.
You and the baby take a nap.
Yeah. The dishes will get done someday. The bed sheets will be cleaned someday. You know. But you don't have to ask permission. What you have to do is take the baby and go lay down and take a nap. The idea of good housekeeping is fictitious.
Girl,
at this
let it go.
Point. Let it
go. Girl, I got 5 children. My house ain't.
Oh, your house is beautiful. But I remember when.
Right.
Okay.
But that's because 4 out of the 5 right now can help me clean.
That's right.
Before they can help me clean. But I still have drawings on the wall because I still have a 3-year-old.
That's right.
You know, I
can come to you from a 10-year-old now,
right?
You know, and now at least I know the mess. I can track it, and I can you know people can be putting in Kenya mommy jail, you know. So and that is a big deal because my headspace wasn't clear because I needed to see order, and I kept seeing crumbs and Cheerios, and then I would see magazines of Pottery Barn and this and that, and I'm like, how come? My space.
Disabuse yourself of the notion that your house is going to look like that right now. Because I'm going to tell you what.
Right.
I had friends whose homes did look that clean.
But
their lives were wrecked.
Okay.
So let the house be wrecked so that your life can be okay.
Right.
Because this season don't last always.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yes, girl.
Y'all going to be all right. Take a nap, baby. Hey.
Don't.
She can't never.